To that small door on the far left side of our watering hole. Zemba is on the hunt today. She spotted her prey and off she goes. Gosh, she's looking really fast today. Rocketing through that corner. Getting ahead of it there, final stretch. And she has caught her prize. How about a round of applause for Zemba? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you just saw the world's fastest land animal in action. They can reach speeds up to 60 miles per hour, and they've even been clocked at speeds approaching 70 miles.
Alright, and with that, the cheetah races in as our first featured creature on our Tuesdays with Tommy. Zemba, baby girl, where are you? I kind of lost track of you there. Alright, there she is. Now, the cheetah's Latin name is Acinonyx jubatus, meaning maned, motionless claw. Cheetahs are the only cat in the feline family without retracting claws, and the longer fur called a mantle is very prevalent in cubs, however, while still present, is less notable in adults. Cheetah litters can range from 1 to 8 cubs, but most commonly bear 3 to 5 cubs. Because of the very specific design of a cheetah, they have a very low variation in their genetics. This gives cheetahs a very high infant mortality rate and huge issues with birth defects. It is commonly mistaken that a cheetah, which is a big cat, actually is not. Big cats are in the Panthera family, which roar, and cheetahs don't. They do, however, make other sounds.
Well, the first thing that really strikes me is just absolutely beautiful footage where you can see in incredible clarity what the cheetah is capable of. There's a number of key elements here, and one of the most important ones is this spine. So the spine of the cheetah is proportionally the longest and the most flexible of any large cat species. And that's really, really important because it enables the cheetah to maximize the stride length. By bunching and coiling the spine alone, it's able to expand this incredible stride rate which you see.
Look at his back. Watch the back, it's down. Now watch when he comes together, watch when his hind feet come up, look at the back. Go up. Just exactly like a coiled spring. My golly, if a horse had a back like that, a horse could go 90 miles an hour. Look, even though I've watched cheetahs run for over 30 years, which is how long I've worked with them, in that super slow motion, I saw things that I'd never seen before. And I don't think I really realized, although I knew it intuitively, that that head just never moves and the eyes stay focused. This is the animal that hunts. The neck stretched out, the head steady. Look how steady that head is.
So it's not immediately obvious, but the cheetah's head as well has a whole suite of adaptations. You can see this if you compare it to a fairly similarly sized animal, the African leopard. You can see that the cheetah skull is much shorter and much lighter. So the reason for that is to help expand this nasal cavity and to reduce the weight. So this really enables the cheetah to have a very lightweight head, which you can see that marvelous moment in the footage where she's keeping it very fixed on the prey. She couldn't do that with an overweight head. And so having expanded nasal cavities here actually helps while she's suffocating the prey to be able to recover. There's another really interesting thing that has only just recently been described about cheetah legs, and that's the ratio of different types of muscle fibers. So we know now that the muscles in the hind leg, high in the hind leg, are dominated by these fast twitch fibers, so-called fast twitch fibers, and a particular type of them that enables very, very explosive power. I think the footage is really inspirational. It's the first time that people, including someone like me who's been really fortunate seeing wild cheetahs many, many times, including many hunts, but is able to see cheetahs in all their terrific evolutionary splendor.
When you see these cats running in this incredible slow motion, you see the perfection of everything that they are. This is the cat that is utter perfection for what he does. He does nothing but run. It's all he can do. He's not built to fight. He's not built to compete with the other cats or even the other predators. This is the only thing he can do, the only thing the cat can do to survive. The perfect running machine for a cat who hunts alone. Wow.
Now, while a cheetah can run fast, this is well known. They, however, can only maintain that speed for short distances, about 1,500 feet or 20 or 30 seconds. After that, they have to give up the chase or die from overheating. They have to rest for about 20 to 30 minutes to cool their system down before they can even eat. Now, cheetahs hunt by exhausting their prey, tripping it up, and then suffocating it. They do not possess the muscle or bone structure, such as lions, leopards, or jaguars, to wrestle their prey to the ground, which is why some obvious prey, such as zebra, wildebeest, and buffalo, are avoided. I will have additional reference pictures and stills up on my Patreon page if you want to go check it out. It's Morning Hawk Creations. Alright, up on our map is the approximate historic cheetah range versus the current cheetah range. Now, cheetahs can still be found in Angola, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, South Africa, and Mozambique. A small population is still rumored to exist in Iran, and their habitat is usually dry forests, grasslands, open plains, or desert regions. In Asia, where there is still a small population of cheetahs, their biggest competitor is the gray wolf. That's something you would typically imagine being with something as iconic as a cheetah. Now, there are some unusual coat patterns and physical mutations that can be found with cheetahs. One of the most commonly known is the king cheetah, whose spots are more marbled in design. King cheetahs can be most commonly found in Botswana. However, this is a recessive gene that causes this unusual coat pattern. In addition, there have been reports of albino cheetahs from South Africa, as well as melanistic cheetahs, or all-black cheetahs, in Kenya and Zimbabwe. These are our two featured cheetahs for today. These are from the Milwaukee Zoo. This is Imara and Kira. They are sisters. Now, cheetahs for the most part are solitary, with only males being gregarious, hanging out in groups. However, since females do not establish a territory, there is usually little to no concern with zoos housing multiple females together. As we're going through some of the slides and footage, I will note in some instances where I've paused to help illustrate a line of action that is present. This is to help some artists with their composition when putting it with other subjects. Now, cheetahs can weigh in about 46 to 159 pounds and be 28 to 35 inches in the shoulder. This makes them taller than both leopards and jaguars, which are most commonly mistaken for. Those long legs allow for a cheetah to see prey over the grass and in the savanna without being seen by their prey or other carnivores. However, it is not unusual to see a cheetah up on a termite mound on the lookout for prey or other predators. Other cats which are commonly mistaken for cheetahs include the leopard and jaguar. These two cats, while looking very similar, hunt in a very different fashion and therefore is built much differently. Their feet are much larger, their build is more compact and muscular, and is good for ambush hunting where strength and dexterity are needed to bring down the prey into submission. Unlike leopards, however, jaguars are native to South America and would not come into contact with a plains hunter such as a cheetah. Now take a note of those small head and the big eyes compared to the size of the skull on these animals. Their paws are narrower than they are in other cats, as cheetahs are not climbers. The design of this foot is to maximize traction rather than more dexterous activities. Each cheetah has its own unique markings, which is often helpful for researchers when identifying specific individuals. Common prey for the cheetah involves Thompson's gazelle, springbok, impala, guinea fowl, and duiker. Now, while I am featuring slides of other animals typically found in Africa, those are also animals that can be paired with cheetahs as a subject. This is also going to include kudu, gazelles, hornbill, painted dogs, vultures, crowned cranes, crocodiles, hippopotamus, zebras, and rhinos. Now, as we're watching Amara and Kira kind of pace around their enclosures, as this was later in the afternoon when they were preparing to get fed, notice their stiff walk. Cheetahs have been recreated in historical arts reflecting different eras and movements, including the ancient Egyptians, Renaissance, Romantic, and avant-garde, with more modern variations reaching from impressionistic to surreal, fractal, fan art, and caricatures. The following list of zoos are the ones who currently list cheetahs as part of their collection. However, these zoos listed with the asterisks have designated times and areas to lure around their cheetahs to allow visitors the opportunity to see the cheetah in its iconic movement. The Houston Zoo is also noted for having an ambassador cheetah that can interact with visitors under special circumstances for an additional fee. Some zoos, such as Busch Gardens, have a behind-the-scenes tour where you can have another interesting encounter not available under regular admission. Cheetahs are one of the few wildcats that has such little aggressive tendencies that it can be considered tamed. Well, when you're talking about painting in color or illustrating in color, your usual color palette based on Liquitex acrylic paints is going to be raw umber, raw sienna, burnt sienna, yellow oxide, ultramarine blue, cadmium yellow deep hue, Mars black, and titanium white. This should cover all your lights, shadows, and midtones that you're going to need for these animals. Get another illustration of some lead lines and some action lines to kind of help you balance out how you would execute your composition. And if you found this information helpful and useful and you'd like to see more, feel free to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon down below to get regular postings of when I bring up a new video. And Tommy would like to tell you that he thinks you should create more art. Okay, so what you got here is you got the really long back and the really long legs and the little head.
What are
with
you
the big
doing?
eyes and,
This is not how you do an
it's a small
informative
head
video
and big
about
eyes.
cheetahs.
It's got the really, really long legs. And looky here, this has got spots. So this is going to be the kitty zoom
Kitty
zoom.
kitty zoom
This
zoom.
is not the kitty zoom zoom. No. See, it's got
Oh
the
my
shorter
goodness,
back
how
and
is this
shorter
supposed to
legs,
help?
and they're thicker legs. I mean, this is an animal. It's really meant to wrestle. This is like the quarterback of cats. Just, I'm going to get you. And then it's, of course, got the rosette pattern. And it doesn't have spots, but it's got a bigger head because it's going to be like, I'm going to get you. And so we're going to call this sudden death from the trees. This is the
It is
African
not called
edition.
sudden death from trees.
And here we go. We got another one. This is also something that's not a cheetah. It's got, just like the last one, it's got that compact body, and it's meant for jumping out of trees. It's got that rosetted pattern again. And big feet for climbing up in the trees. And this one's got a glossy coat, so you know it's not a leopard. This one's a jaguar. We'll call this sudden death from the trees South American edition. So how they run the cat is that they get a lure they string around. As you here's the lure, and the lure goes that way, and then behind it is the cheetah. See, here comes the cheetah. This thing's meant for running, and just like they showed in the picture, like this cheetah never takes its eyes off its prize. It's just like, I'm gonna get it. It's like a turkey dinner. And up goes that tail whenever he needs to go and change his direction, and you watch that tail, and it kind of acts as like a counterbalance, and sometimes it wiggles around in a circle, but that cheetah, he never takes his eyes off that lure, because you never know, it could be holding like some really tasty treats or something, you know, and whoop, he overbalanced it, so he's gonna hit the brake, so that tail's gonna come way up in the air, and he's gonna change direction. That tail is all about being a counterbalance. Yep. So now the great thing about this and how great cheetah experience is you get to see how much G-force these cats get in that 45-degree
Have you been
angle,
drinking?
and see how much power it takes when they have to go that far. And there you go with the kitty zoom zoom.
Kitty zoom zoom.
Go kitty zoom zoom.
What is going on here?
He's all about getting that lure. This is, when you're having a really great cheetah experience, is you gotta have a cheetah, and you gotta have a cheetah running after something. That's when you're gonna have a really great cheetah experience. Because if you don't have a cheetah, you're not gonna have a great
My
cheetah
circuits
experience.
are going to have a meltdown. Someone stop her.